Yes, that's me from a few months ago dancing to this hyper fast electronic dance sound from Tanzania. And the sweat is real. What started out as fun in the club ended up being a year-long research adventure with my producer, Gloria. We went to Tanzania to experience and explore a unique type of sound called Singeli. One of the most unique things about Singeli is the speed. Singeli music has crazy speeds of up to and over 300 beats per minute. Here's what that means. A normal R&B song is about 80 beats per minute. Hip hop can be 120 plus or minus. Singeli is breakneck. We're talking about 250 to over 300 beats per minute. It is the fastest popular club music in Africa. You need to understand, Singeli is not just popular in Tanzania, but East Africa and electronic dance music festivals. Think Nyege Nyege, Boiler Room, and many other festivals across the world. See, it's not just some niche underground sound played in some obscure dark room for 50 people. But I know, for many of you, this might be the first time you're hearing about it. So where did it start? Gloria and I went to the birthplace of Singeli, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. We had to see it for ourselves. We had three main questions. First, concerning the speed. Second, what is the origin of Singeli? And three, how do you dance to such speeds? Let's talk origin. The music we're listening to here is actually made on Virtual DJ. That is a DJ mixing software. It's not even intended for making beats, but trust African genius and, of course, art born out of lack. Singeli is heavy on synths and breakneck drum loops. These are synonymous with a number of traditional sounds from Tanzania. To understand how they make the beats, you need the different sounds that make up Singeli. First, there are vanga drums, known for frenetic speeds and a heavy tom-like sound. Then there's mchiriku from the coast of Tanzania that comes with the teen sounds and the shakers. And don't forget the taarab synths. These are electronic sounds from the keyboard. About 12 years ago in the slums of Dar es Salaam, which they call Uswahilini, people would meet up for these raves that Tanzanians call Kigodoro, because literally no sleeping for days. You're literally turning the club or the party into a small mattress, which is what Kigodoro is in Kiswahili. It was in these Kigodoro events that Singeli was born. This is Msagasumu, one of the pioneers of the sound, who told me the fascinating origin story.
Ikipigwa sehemu shughuli taarabu, sisi tunasema jamani tunaenda kwenye kigodoro. Tuende kwenye kigodoro. Unaweza kwenye kigodoro ndio unaenda huko nakuta zinapigwa taarabu tu, ambaye akina mama wanazungusha duara, mambo ya pwani wenyewe wanasema. Mimi nachukua zile taarabu na lupu. Mzee Sufu anaimba, ikifika sebene ile, mimi na lupu. Ikisharupu inakuwa usikii maneno yake yule, inakuwa biti iko flat kabisa bila maneno yote. Achimenengule, 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 wa achimenengule, achimenengule.
And with these loops and the hype chants from the MCs, Singeli was born. Fun fact, even after making the beats on Virtual DJ, pushing out the records on the streets, it was years before Singeli was actually recorded with a clean sound in studio. This was told to me by one of the pioneers, probably the first person to make big bucks out of it, Manifongo. Singeli has two main types. We can call them subgenres. Singeli Ladha, the more melodious type that Msaga Sumu does. And Singeli Bakora, or Michano. This is where the speeds wild out and MCs bring their best bars, just like PK does.
Bwana, ukiongeza tempo kama hivi solai sana, unaweza kupasuka hata mapafu, ukapasuka mdomo, ulimi ukatoka. Just a joking. Wizi, ho jamani ugai guys umefika Marekani. Tena umenikuta wizi nipo maskani. Nipo na wanangu si tunakula mjani. PCL love tunaishi kwa amani.
We've talked about the speeds. We've talked about the origin. But the third question was, how do you dance to this music? There is a formula. And one of the popular choreographers of Singeli, Hemedi, gave it to me. Here I am trying to keep up. Of course I was able to keep up. Maybe.
Hey! Hey, yay! Hey, yay!
Mbona? Mgeni bwana lakini ukikuwa mwenyeji.
That's a whole workout. You're teasy kabisa.
Yeah.
The dances are pretty much how you feel them. You can move as you please, just be free. But this is where it gets political. Singeli's most famous, most controversial, and most discussed style is the Chura dance. It's actually normal for a lot of coastal communities in East Africa to have these kind of dances. But it got to a point the Tanzanian government put a ban on the dance and the Kigodoro cultural events. The Tanzanian government later lifted the ban on the events and the cultural dance, but with restrictions. Not where the children are, exclusive permit for Singeli events, and definitely not during the day, not forgetting the cost of the permit. The politics go deeper, touching on the slums and the value of Singeli as a representative sound for Dar es Salaam and largely Tanzania. 12 years after the sound was started, some still associate Singeli with thugs and crime.
This was really seems that Singeli ni muziki wa wahuni. You know, when you say wahuni, these are the youngsters on the street. They think like they are robbers. You know, they sit, they're unemployed youngsters. They sit somewhere, they talk their own lives. Where can we get money? How can we survive?
This is the part where female artists like Mima, Snura, and others have revolutionized the sound and its stereotypes. Their presence has slowly changed the perception that this is thug music.
Naona baadaye tutakopo wengi zaidi kwa sababu tayari naona kuna wasichana ambao wanajitokeza wanafanya tofauti na mwanzo. Wengi walikuwa wanaogopa, kwa sababu ilikuwa inaonekana msichana ukifanya muziki unaonekana ni msichana ambaye muhuni, umeshindikana, ni una tabia chafu, lakini si hivyo. Kama kuna msichana yote ana talent ya kuimba singeli ajitokeze, kwa sababu mimi nachukulia kama kazi, pia ni sehemu ya kufurahi.
As perceptions change and singeli spreads further, there is a phrase becoming more common amongst Tanzanians, almost like a patriotic cry.
Singeli to the world. Singeli to the world.
And I'm definitely for African sounds going global. Keep your ears peeled. This is a big sound.